Hi everyone, it's Jeff here from Avada. In this video, I'm going to break down the hero container on the home page of the Avada Tattoo Prebuilt. There's just so much going on there, and it's a great example of how to take your content to the next level. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with all the latest videos like this one. And if you don't want to miss one, click the bell icon to get notifications of all new videos on our channel. Okay, let's begin. I've imported the Avada Tattoo Prebuilt, and I'm on the home page here. The hero section I'm talking about is just this part of the page. And at first glance you might think it's just an ordinary hero section. A couple of columns with a title, some text, a button, and a few images and icons. And in many ways it is. But as is often the case, small adjustments, careful consideration of layout, and subtle use of the possible options lifts the quality of the design to the next level. To appreciate this design further, let's just refresh the page. On most browsers, you can just do this with the F5 key. Okay, let me do that just once more. So I'm sure you noticed the nice loading animations. And if I move the mouse around and scroll on the page, you might see a few more things at play. But to fully explore this container and all that's going on, let's head to the Avada Builder. Okay, here's the hero section here. And as was apparent, this is just two 1/2 columns. The first with a title, a text block, and a button element. And the second one has 4 nested columns with 2 images and 2 icons. So structurally, it's not as if it's at all complex. What makes it so good though are the design choices and the attention to detail throughout the design. Let's start with the container. This is a site width container with auto height, centered column alignment, and a bit of top and bottom padding. On the background tab, we can see there is a subtle gradient going on, and on the image tab, there's a background image. If I come back to the gradient colors and reset them to default for a second, we can see that the image is in fact black. But when the gradient is added on top, it gives a very nice effect. Note how the start color has a small amount of transparency applied, and the gradient is radial and aligned from the center. And so with an end position of 30, the gradient is lightest in the middle and quickly going out to almost pure black. When I scroll, the background image doesn't move with the other content. And so if we look at the image tab, we can see there is a fixed parallax option on desktop. The designer has also centered this and set the background size to contain, which means the image will be scaled as large as possible within the container without being stretched or cropped. Okay, that's the container. Let's look at the columns. The first one is a stock standard 1/2 column, and the only real change from default is a bit of bottom padding. And if we go to the very bottom of the extras tab, we can see the fading animation from the left at 1 second with a small delay. The content is pretty standard as well, with the classic combo of title, text and button. There are typical margin, font and color changes applied, and the button is pretty cool, but that's also the default button styling for this site. Okay, so let's go to the next column. There are no background effects applied, and so the only real change here is the motion effect that has been added on the extras tab. Here it's a mouse effect, and it's a tracking effect in the opposite direction to the mouse at a speed of 1. Note that this is only in effect on desktop view. Inside the column, there are 4 1/2 nested columns with images and icons in an alternating grid. If I edit one of the images, we can see there is a custom aspect ratio set to 1:1, or in other words square, and on the extras tab, the designer has chosen the reveal with color animation type, with color 5 animating from the bottom at a speed of 0.8 of a second. The icons are from a custom icon set and are pretty large, and are using color 4 initially and color 5 on rollover. Okay, so let's just go back to the home page and refresh and look at all this in practice. The background and the icons show up first, as they don't have any animation delay, followed by the 0.8 delay of the images coming in with their animation, and then the first column sliding in from the left. And if I mouse around, we can see the mouse effect in action. And if I scroll a bit, we can see the parallax effect on the container background image. Okay, that's all very cool and a really nice design. But we are not done yet. What about responsive design? A good designer can't forget that. So back in the builder, let's change to medium screen view and see what's going on there. The first thing that's obvious is that the designer has changed the column width to 1:1 for medium screens. So the columns now sit underneath each other. And it looks like there's been a bit of extra margin applied to this first column to separate it a bit more from the second one. Our mouse effects are not active on medium or small screens, but otherwise there doesn't seem to be any more changes. Okay, let's move to small screens. Here the columns remain 1-1 and the first column appears to be the same, but then we can see that both icons are above the first image, and if we scroll down, that the second image doesn't display at all. Okay, what's happening here initially is the use of column order. If I edit the first column, we can see it has an order of 0. And if I edit the first nested column, it has an order of 1. The next one has an order of 2, and the one with the image has an order of 3. And if I edit the last nested column, we can see the column visibility for small screens has been turned off, removing it from view. Okay, that's it. That's a very nice hero section. Great work, Atif. None of these effects are special. They are all standard options available in the Avada Builder. But with a keen design eye and an understanding of what's possible with Avada, you can make some really cool designs. And remember, Avada Studio has a whole range of containers and other content blocks, all professionally designed like this, that you can import and use on your own websites. Okay, this concludes our breakdown of the hero container on Avada Tattoo. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with all the latest videos. And if you have any questions or need assistance, please create a support ticket and our team will gladly assist you. As always, we want to thank you for choosing Avada.